Good afternoon, this is Tim Mosier. I wanted to share another study that I've been doing this past week, and it's a study on humility and the importance of humility, because when we humble ourselves before God, we find strength. In this world, it seems often that we say that if we put more pride in ourselves, if we trust ourselves, if we work hard, then we will succeed and we'll be stronger. You know, if you work out enough, if you practice enough, then you will be stronger. But sometimes practicing more and more and more won't strengthen you in every area of your life. And sometimes working out won't strengthen every area of your life. And when it comes to our spiritual body, one of the best ways that we can work out in order to become stronger is humility. That's submitting ourselves to God's authority, His power, even when we face obstacles, when we face pain, when we face suffering. We can put our trust in God, we can acknowledge God's authority, and we can grow in our faith. And when we do so, we will have a faith that endures, no matter the trial, no matter the pain, no matter the loss. I'm reminded of 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 and 7. Peter encourages people that are going through all kinds of suffering with these words. Humble yourself, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that He might lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you. When I read this, I think of how important it is to let God know how I feel. And not just say, well, God, you know everything, so you know how I feel, so I don't need to talk to you. But rather, casting my fear, casting my anxiety, casting my worries, no matter what it is, on God. And when we do that, when we acknowledge that God's in control of everything, and that God has ultimate authority and ultimate reign and complete control over everything, that it gives us a little bit more comfort. It gives me comfort knowing that it's not up to me, but it's up to God. And as long as I put my trust in Him, it doesn't matter what's going on right now, because my future is in God's hands. I can't think of a better person to read about than the story of Joseph. When we look at the story of Joseph, we see someone who continually puts his trust in God, and someone who continues to submit to God's authority and casts his anxieties and casts his worries on God. And as a result, we see a man who goes through all kinds of pain, goes through all kinds of rejection, is rejected by his brother, rejected by other people. And as much as the world tried to tear him down, he continued to submit to God, and God eventually lifted him up to second in command of all of Egypt. But I want to look at a specific text in Genesis chapter 39, verses 1 through 5. And it says this: Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potiphar, and an Egyptian who was one of the Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. The Lord was with Joseph, and he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of all of his house, and he entrusted his care of everything he owned. From the time he put him in charge of his household and of all that he owned, the Lord blessed his household, and the Egyptian became because of Potiphar. What I think is really amazing about this is Joseph entered this home as a slave, sold for more than likely a low price. But Joseph continued to put his trust in God. He continued to honor God in everything that he did. And he worked in order to glorify God. He wanted to surrender to God. He wanted to submit to God so that God could rescue and deliver him from his trials. And I think this is an amazing pattern for us as Christians to face today. In the world today, there's all kinds of trials and problems. But the best way that we can battle these problems and trials in our lives is to daily submit and surrender our lives and our trust to God. I hope this lesson blessed you, and I hope to see you soon. If you enjoyed this video was helpful, then please leave a comment, and may God bless you.